Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing? As he said, my name is Josh C. Brown. I'm a former football player, and I'm a former college football coach. I've seen myself to be a very successful athlete. As I said, I went to college. How many guys, by show of hands, would like to go to college? How many guys would like to probably go to college for free, by show of hands? Well, that's very possible because I was given an opportunity. I had a full ride to the University of Cincinnati, $36,000. Full ride. Everything paid for just to play football. How many guys love football? You like football? How many would like to go to college for free to play football? Well, I'm going to tell you some things today that can help you, and I'm going to tell you some things that can hurt you. But first, can I get 2 volunteers to come up? You put your hands up first. Come here. I need both of you. Hey, clap it up for your classmates. All right, listen, this is what I'm having them do. This is a simulation of them being intoxicated. These are drone goggles. I don't want you to drive. I don't want you to run. I just want you to put these on, and I want you to walk in a straight line to me, all right? Y'all think he can do it? All right, so we're going to start with you. So put the goggles on. Can you see me? All right. Well, walk straight. Walk to me. Come on, walk straight. You good. You got it. All right, clap it up for him. Stay right here. Hey, you see where he went the wrong way and he hit the side of that table, right? Come walk to me. Look down. Look down. Hey, drunk guy, listen. I haven't seen. Come here, both of you. Come here. Cut that off. Here's 2 books for you. Hey, clap it up for your classmates coming up. Hey, guys, listen. I know it was fun to watch them do that, but listen, that is the way your mindset, your eyes are when you're trying to drive a car drone. And at the end of the day, I got into a car. And I killed a man, Mr. Nelson Robinson, and I served 3 years in prison. And I'm talking prison. This is what it looked like. I woke up in the hospital. My heartbeat stopped 3 times on the flight to the hospital. I didn't know anything that was going on. But I know that I made a bad decision. And because I had a life of drugs and alcohol that was heavy growing up, I never got to fulfill that full ride at Cincinnati University. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about substance abuse and what life is like living on drugs and alcohol. I'm going to tell you some stories and some lessons that I learned over the way. And I'm going to be very clear. I'm here because I care about each and every one of you, because one day I was sitting in your seat. I thought I had it all figured out. And my addiction that started at 12 landed me to 27 when I wrecked my car. Now I'm going to give you 3 principles that's going to help you succeed in life. I know I'm here talking about substance abuse, but somebody here may want to be a doctor. Somebody here may want to be a barber. Somebody here may want to be a principal. But these principles that I'm going to give you are going to help you to become the best version of yourself, not just in drugs and alcohol. So if you don't struggle with drugs or alcohol, or you think this is not important, please apply it to your life. Because everything in life deserves a goal, it deserves habits, and it deserves a way to go about it in life. And the first one I'm going to go around with you and talk about is strategy. Everybody say strategy. Okay, listen, being a big part of your strategy, I want you to understand, when you go through this principle, you go through life, is understand, listen, you have to learn to love yourself enough to put yourself first. What I mean by that, when I was your age, I did not set boundaries. I did not know how to tell people no. I didn't know how to be like, you're not going the same direction as I'm going in life, so I indulge in everything. When I was 12 years old, I used to steal my aunt's car. I used to have a fifth of liquor in the car with me, and I was driving around with 16 and 17-year-olds who had license. Doesn't make sense, does it? I didn't set a boundary. I didn't say no. I allowed everybody to have access to me. Is there anybody in here that knows what they want to do in life? Anybody willing to come up and tell me about it? Come on, thank you. Everybody give it up for... Okay, so listen, guys, I'm talking to your first, what's your name? Chris. This is Chris. My strategy coming out of prison was one thing is I had to realize this. I couldn't go to a bar. That was part of my strategy. Because if I went to a bar, I would drink. And if I drink, I'm probably going to drive. So I had to begin to put things in place and strategize how I was going to make it when I came home, seeing the same people in the same small area with the same mentality. So we're going to help Chris today begin to make his strategy so you guys can understand that no matter what you want to do, that you can make a strategy, but it's also easy. We just got to put the time in. What do you say you want to do in life?
Well, after high school, I want to go to the Army.
You want to go to the Army. So if say you're making a strategy, well, we say one thing that you should do before you go to the Army is graduate high school, right? Everybody agree with that? So that's part one of his strategy. He's going to graduate high school. Okay, the next thing, do you think, what's one thing you think that can hinder you from the Army, can stop you from going?
What can stop me from going?
Yeah. What's one action that can stop you from not being able to go to the Army?
I don't know.
Doing something that caused him to get in jail. Bad actions, hang with the wrong people. So that would be something that he would make part of his strategy to eliminate people that's not going in the same direction he's going and that can hinder him from going to the Army, correct? So that's how simple it is for Chris to start his strategy. So today we've given Chris one positive thing to do and one negative thing that can stop him from going, and that's how easy starting your strategy is. But just give me a thumbs up of how many people think the now that they can begin to make a strategy with what they want to do in life. Everybody confident in that? Everybody give Chris a round of applause for coming up. Here you go, Chris. Chris, here you go. A part two of this is I feel like it's crucial. And it's simple words. This is called a consequence. So part two is consequences. Everybody say consequences. Consequences. Good choices, good consequences. Bad choices, bad consequences. I need participation. I need you to say this with me. Good choices, good consequences. Bad choices, bad consequences. Hey, everybody's going to say there's consequences, but there's good and bad consequences. But the beauty of consequences, you get to dictate what your consequences are. So my consequence was, when I was drinking and driving, I ended up in prison. I couldn't see my family. The consequence was when I walk into prison, I sit down. You know what they do? I mean, in the barber class in here, anybody? Okay, so listen, what they did, they sit me down, they took a pair of clippers, no guard. They shaved all my dreads off. My dreads were probably down here. Cut them all off. Boom. Stand up. This is what prison is like. This is what a life making bad decisions, the consequences you'll have. May feel uncomfortable, but how many of you want to stand naked a bunch of men in the room? Nobody. That's what I had to do. And you know what? They spray me down like I'm a dog. How many of you ever seen your dog be sprayed on, you clean them? That's how they did. They spray me. And then I never forget, they said, take 2 steps back. So I take 2 steps back. They said, turn around. They sprayed me again. And they said, move forward. I take 2 steps forward in the shower. They cut the shower on to clean me. And there was no rejection of this because this is the consequence that I had to endure because I decided I wanted to indulge in drugs and alcohol, that I wanted to drink and drive. Now, I grew up in a small town where about 10,000 people come to a football game. And I was 14 years old. I was the first guy to ever play varsity football. And I was saying, listen, bro, I was the man. When I'm going to tell you, bro, I was 14, I would go to a party, that girls 17, 18 flocking over me. Oh, they're slow. I met women that I didn't even know, but they just wanted to be connected to me because I was a man. That came with the ability to be an athlete. It came with the drugs and alcohol. So I didn't have to go looking for drugs and alcohol because they wanted to give it to me because they wanted to be connected to who I was. And guess what came with that connection to those females and those drugs and the free gifts here and the free gifts there? Can anybody guess what came with that? Huh? Prison was the consequence, but I was looking for bad consequences. Because I was making what type of decisions? Bad choices. Bad consequences. How many, can somebody raise their hand and just tell me something that they did that caused them to have a bad consequence? You didn't have your grades right? And what happened as a result of not having your grades right? You couldn't go where? You couldn't go to Texas? Okay, no. Let me get an example of somebody that made a good consequence. I mean, a good decision. And what was your consequence of that? Your good consequence. You're here with a bunch of great people. Respectable men, because so far you guys have been very respectful. And I think that's a testament to your leadership. Good choices. What do you get? Bad choices. You dictate your consequences. I'm going to say that again because there is no fault but anybody else's but my own that I went to prison. You control your consequences. Now, when I was, indulging in those, I had a bunch of friends. How many of y'all sitting with your best friends, your homies right now? You are? All right. Now, I want you to think of a tragic situation that's going to put you in a deep state of mind that you're just hurt and all you want is friends. Can anybody, you vision that for me? Now, I want you to think about the people that you're next to not being there for you. They're gone. You're by yourself. In the midst of your strategy, in the midst of these consequences you got to think about, I want you to understand this. Not everybody can go where you're going. Not everybody could go to prison with me. And I firmly believe now nobody wanted to. Why is that? I'm the man, remember? Everybody wanted to party with me. Everybody wanted to hang with me. But when I got locked up, my best friend lived 15 minutes away from me. And in 3 years, I never seen him. Never bothered to come to the prison. Never bothered to stop Brown and say, hey, JB, hey, Slope, how are you doing? I'm telling you this because I want you to understand this. Some of you are probably connected right now with people in your life that may be heading you down the wrong direction. Or maybe doing some things that you know that are not right, but you feel a sense of loyalty to. You feel a sense of, hey, man, I don't want to let it go. That's my homie. With the beginning strategy, didn't I say you got to love yourself enough? Well, being a part of loving yourself enough is knowing there's some people you've got to step away from because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, your end goal is not going to be where they're trying to go. I told you that I'm going to share some stories with you. When I came home from prison, this is one of my friends that came to see me. 2 weeks after being home from prison, he gets a DUI. We're not going in the same direction. I appreciate that you came to see me. I appreciate that you're my friend, but right now you're demonstrating behaviors that don't align with my future, so I have to separate myself from you. Was it a hard decision? Yeah. Because this guy not only was my friend, he was my cousin. We grew up together. We grew up across the street. We played ball from midget league all the way to college. But as an adult, I had to realize that he wasn't a part of my strategy. And that my consequence wasn't going to end well if I continue hanging with you because you're putting yourself in situations that I no longer could be in. So just think for a second. Is there anybody in your life that you just feel like, hey, maybe they're not aligned to where I'm trying to go? And you don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to say nothing to me. I just want you to think about it for a moment. Because a lot of the friends that I should have got rid of was at your age, your tender age. $36,000 scholarship, and I never got a chance to fill it because I was stuck in drugs and alcohol. I owe $42,000 in student loans now because I had to go to a smaller school and kind of pay my way, and I had a full ride. But bad choices led to bad consequences, and I could not fulfill that scholarship. The third one, evolve. Everybody say evolve with me. Evolve. Man, that's constant growth. And I'm going to tell you one word that's huge in this level of evolving. It is complacency. Now, I'm going to tell you some things that cause me to be complacent. I said I struggle with drugs and alcohol. How many people are familiar with football in the 40-yard dash? 40-yard dash. Okay, when I was 18 years old, how fast you think I ran in the 40? I just want two people to guess. 4.4. 5 seconds. I ran a 4.31 40 intoxicated. I ran a 4.31 40-yard dash intoxicated at Fort Union Military Academy. But that was my life. I always thought that I had to be intoxicated in order to perform my best. How much I averaged in high school? About 25 points a game? My junior and senior year, I never played a game where I wasn't higher intoxicated. And averaged 25. Go ahead. I can't answer that question. All I know is that I started drinking at such a young age, 12, that it became a part of my everyday life. Like when I wrecked my car, I was at a tailgate with a bunch of friends. My blood alcohol was 0.159 and nobody knew I was intoxicated. Because I began to get to the point to where this was a part of my everyday life. So the people that was supposed to be with me, guiding me in the right direction, that wasn't supposed to be going where I was going, was accepting who I was. I wasn't loving myself enough, like that strategy to be like, hey, Slope, you got to stop because even the people with you connected don't care what you're doing. University of West Virginia came to see me play, playoff game. University High School. I got triple teamed. I wish I had the film to show you. I had a DB, a linebacker, and a safety over top of me. 4 catches, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, intoxicated. But it began to be acceptable because what I allowed to have a part of my life. What does evolving look like for you, guys? I said create a strategy, right? Chris, part of your strategy, you're there and you're saying, hey, I can't do things that's going to stop me from graduating high school. And you may be thinking of those very goals and things. But listen, a part of evolving is stopping to look back and say, hey, is my strategy still aligned with where I'm trying to go? Do I need to make adjustments? Anybody ever seen football, basketball coaches make halftime adjustments? Part of your strategy in evolving, you're going to have to make adjustments to continue to evolve in life. Evolving is growth. It's a 3-step journey that seems very simple. But listen, I'm here to tell you what nobody's willing to tell you, that part of evolving is life, and life be lifing. By a show of hands, how many people believe that my life has been lifing? So y'all think I had it easy? Everybody that got their hand down thinks it was easy. You think it was easy to go to prison? You think it was easy when my son was 4 years old to say, hey, Dad, when you coming home? And I'm on the phone, I don't know, son. Because I was in the state of West Virginia. They gave me a 2 to 10 year sentence, which means I didn't know if I was going home at year 2 or year 10. So for the people that willingly did not put their hands up, you think that it was easy to be like, I don't know. He goes, well, 100 days, Dad? I don't know. Well, 150 days? Do you know what it's like as a parent? Raise your hand if you love your parents. Everybody's hand should go up. So as a parent, did you not think that that completely broke me when my son would ask that? Good choices, good consequences. Bad choices, bad consequences. I believe that it would have been better for me to break saying, hey, guys, I got to get away from these drugs and alcohol. I got to stop hanging with this crowd. I got to love me for me, than sit there and be broken and understand that I'm in prison and my son can't even say hi when he wants. I was put in a situation when I was told when to eat, told when to cut the game off. I'm going to tell you one of the hardest times, I got pissed. When LeBron James and Steph Curry was going at it back in the playoffs around like 2007, 2016, 17, I had to cut the game off every night because it was bedtime. So I never even got a chance to watch the fourth quarter. That's the little things in life that's taken from you when you decide to make bad choices to result in bad consequences. There's 3 things I talked to you about. So I'm going to recap them for you. I want you to repeat after me. Strategize. Consequences. Evolve. Let me get one person. Can one person come up here and just tell the class one thing that they learned today? Just one person. Come on up. Hey, y'all keep volunteering. I can't even give books away. Hey, give me a clap for him. What's your name again? Julian. Julian, can you tell the class just one thing that you learned today?
I learned, even if it's hard, sometimes you got to disconnect yourself from people that don't want to go down the same path as you.
He's learning he has to disconnect from people that's not going the same path as he is. And that's huge, because I promise you, listen, that was one of the hardest things. Give it up for him. But listen, I'm going to tell you why that is so hard. And I want to get real with you guys. What's so hard about disconnecting with some people that's not going down the same path as you is you got to realize that some of that's going to be your family. For real. Some of you are going to have to learn and realize that some of the habits that you have to break will be stuff that you learn from your mom, your dad, your uncle, their friend, their cousin. And not to say that they're bad people. I'm not saying that. Because what I learned was from my stepdad. And I believe he's a great man, but he didn't realize this. And when I close it, I want you to realize, I'm going to tell you this. My stepdad used to always be like this. When he used to come home, we used to watch sports. He used to work 16 hours, prop his feet up. He's from Louisiana, so he had this weird accent. He used to be like, "Fool, go get me a beer." So I would go to the refrigerator and I would go get him a beer. But what he didn't realize, every time I went to go get a beer and I opened that door, it was a light. And it was showing me this is what his happiness looks like. So I began to think, man, what is it about his happiness that makes him so happy? That when I was 12, when I started drinking, I walked to actually elementary, because where I lived in West Virginia, elementary is still 6th grade. Me and my cousin drank a beer, walking to school. We was in the backwoods. I didn't grow up in a place like in the city like you guys. I was in the woods. And I drank it and I got away with it. And that's what started me down the bad hole that I was in. I'm not there no more because I learned to strategize, I learned what consequences were, and I learned to evolve. So I'm here to tell you, bro, listen, you can still love your friends, your family, your coworkers. If you don't do this till later in life, you can still love these people, but understand you have to disconnect. You have to separate yourself. Everybody's got a piece of paper. Everybody's got a piece of paper. Everybody got a pencil. Is anybody here that doesn't have a piece of paper and a pencil? Okay, listen, this is what I want you to do. Because I'm going to help you. I'm not just going to come here and talk to you about something and not help you get to where you want to be. I told you there was 3 things that you got to do. I'm going to help you begin to evolve today. Today's going to be your first day of evolving. And I know you're looking at me like, well, Mr. Brown, Josh, you said strategize. But listen, I'm going to help you from the back end so that your front end makes sense. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to write down that one thing that you know you may struggle with, that you need to let go, that one person you need to let go, whatever it is that can stop you from being the best version of yourself and where does you want to go. And this is going to cause you to get out of your comfort zone, and that's okay. Because, comfortability is overrated. All I want you to do is I want you to write that down. I need you to move a little bit with me. And I'm going to give you a minute to write that down. And once you write it down, I want you to take it and I want you to ball it up. But I want you to ball it up to the point to where you can't even squeeze that piece of paper no more. Because what you're doing is squeezing the life out of whatever it is in your life that's stopping you from being who you want to be and where you want to go. And you may think this is corny, but guess what? Sitting in prison for me was corny. Hanging with friends that didn't come see me in prison was corny. You want to be hard, you want to be that guy. It's easy to go out and do the wrong thing. It's hard to do what's right. So as you're balling up those pieces of paper, you're getting rid of the old thing, the old situation that's holding you back. I'd like you to walk up and just throw it in this trash can. And understand we're saying goodbye to that thing, that thought, that old habit, and where we're growing. Whenever you feel ready, I just need you to take that paper and come throw it away. And let this be the first day of your evolving strategy that you have in life. I bet you miss it. I bet you miss it. I'll let you do when we get done. You all right? I ain't gonna let you. Did you make it? Hey, you play basketball, don't you? Basketball. And you can have fun with this. Listen, you can do this at home. He's gonna try to shoot like Kobe, but he's gonna shoot like LeBron. Ah, dang. Hey, cut that off. Hey, so listen, guys. What I want you to realize is, did anybody tell anybody what they wrote down? You did, and that's okay. But what I want, because if you're with somebody that you trust is walking the same path with you, get with like-minded people. That's okay. But what I'm telling you is, the things that you want to do in life, the things that you write down, the goals that you want, you don't have to share them with everybody. They don't have to understand your why, because you're loving yourself enough to know that what you're going to do for yourself and fulfilling yourself is enough. So I encourage you today, listen, look back on the things that I told you. You can connect with me. My social media handles, Coach has my information. I'm always here. Now, I stopped a little early just to give you guys a couple minutes to ask me anything you want to ask me. I'm not going to pull your teeth, make you have to, but if there's anything you want to ask me, I am more than welcome to help you in any way. But, I'm a Cowboy fan and I'm a Laker fan. Who you like? You're a Knicks fan? Y'all terrible too. So who else you like? I can't complain with that. Hey guys, hold on. Listen.
All right. Sixth grade, you started drinking.
Yep.
All right. You played high school sports, football and basketball.
Football, basketball, baseball, track, and baseball. A 4-year letterman. All 4 sports. Intoxicated.
Did you have any of your peers or coaches that you know or knew that you were drinking?
I did all of them with athletes that were on my team. I had coaches who knew, but they were also doing the same thing. So as I got older, we had conversations, like, hey, why'd you let me? Why'd you do this? But I grew up in an era and a place to where winning came first. When I mean to tell you there's 10,000 people at a football game, 7,000 at a basketball game, it was the culture. So they were more focused on winning than they were my personal, I guess, goals. But I was so successful and so good, and there was D1 coaches coming inside of school that they didn't bother to care because they were winning and we were winning, so they turned a blind eye to it. Likewise, also with my teachers. I was able to skip school, go drink, and come back to school because they did not allow me to understand consequences. And it was sadly that I didn't understand consequences until I got older. I started drinking because I looked up to my father, and when I seen that he got home, he got happy, he was drinking. So then when I tried it, it began to be something that I liked. And then as I continued to do it, it grew on to me, and then it grew on to people that was around me. So it just became a habit.
Where are you from?
I'm from West Virginia. I wrote that book when I was incarcerated. What happened was I had to go to a drug program, and I didn't believe that I should have to go there because I was just drinking. I didn't do like heroin, cocaine, meth, and things of that nature. So because I had a degree, they worked the program a little different for me. So I didn't have to do the basic like workbooks. So they would ask me questions and I would go write. And then I looked up like a year later and I gave it to somebody. I was like, hey, read this. And then this is when we started piecing together, like, bro, you're on your way to writing a book. So I wrote my book while I was while I was incarcerated in 3 years. What would you say? When I got out of jail, the first thing I did was go to my grandmother's and get a home-cooked meal. Was what? Yes, my son surprised the mother of my child's from here. That's how I ended up here. She brought my son to West Virginia the day that I got out. So when I got home, he actually met me there, and that was a surprise for me. Worst thing that happened to me in prison, I had into a racial fight with a bunch of people. It's just that in prison you have to make certain decisions. So survival wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I had to do. So I was actually hit on the back of my neck with a chair in a race war between blacks and whites. Excuse me? Did I? Yeah, I did a substance abuse course in prison, and that's how I wrote the book. So I had to go through a drug course that actually saved my life. Actually, that drug program that I did so well that they started taking me out of prison to go speak at schools. That's how I started doing this. So I actually, education, I didn't bring that up to you guys. Listen, my education afforded me so many different opportunities in prison that other people didn't get to do only because I had a degree. So because I had a degree and because I was well-spoken, they literally took me out of prisons. I spoke at police academies. I spoke at high schools. I spoke at middle schools while I was incarcerated. So that was part of a program that I did. Hold on.
Can you talk a little bit about personal responsibility? I think a lot of your story involves you taking personal responsibility for your actions.
Oh, of course. I've said a lot today that I was with people who allowed me to do this and allowed me to do that and were tied to me, but I never took the personal responsibility to be like, no, listen, maybe I shouldn't do that. And a part of your personal responsibility is growth and growing up. And I think that's going to be coming in your evolving phase of life, of understanding that whatever you do, you are directly responsible for it. No matter, listen, I was locked up with a guy who did 5 years in prison because he was with somebody else who robbed a store. He didn't rob the store. He walked in with him. He got out of the car with him. He didn't know that he was robbing the store. So his personal responsibility was like, bro, he said, man, I knew I shouldn't have been hanging with him. But guess what? He had to take the responsibility to do, hey, I got to do 5 years straight. No parole, no nothing. Your personal responsibility is huge, and that's an everyday task in life that you have to make the decision on how you want to go about it. Because you don't want to end up like me. I'm in a good place now, but dog, I went through the mud to get where I'm at today. I went to a medium prison in West Virginia. I didn't go to prison nowhere around here. It was in the sticks and the hills. I dealt with a lot of racism, bro. That was the hardest part for me. And that's why I got into that war. So, bro, personal responsibility. That was a part of the decisions that I made. That's what landed me there. I didn't like what I had to go through. And prison isn't for everybody. It should be for nobody. I have 10 individual state championships in track. I won those in 3 years. I have a team title in track, so I have 10 individual titles where I won 100, the 200, 4x1. We won one title as a team. My senior year, we went 11-0 in football. We lost in the second round in the playoffs. That was the game where I had the 2 touchdowns and when I was intoxicated. I was all state in all 4 sports, so my most successful was in track. That was the one I won a state title in. Yeah, for sure. Because not only was I intoxicated, other people on my team was intoxicated. So you walked with those glasses, right? Imagine what my ability would have been like if I didn't have those glasses on. 2 more questions. I said, do you think I got less time because I joined the programs? I had 2 to 10 years, so I could have done 2 and I could have done 10. The year 2 was the first year I went to the parole board, boom, they threw me right back, no questions asked. Second year, I completed the program. I was in the program the first time. I did everything I was supposed to do, good choices, good consequences. They did allow me to go out. So even though I killed somebody, which I will forever have to apologize for, I only did 3 years. But I made their decision right by who I am today. I didn't make them regret letting me come home. One more question.
I have the last question. The family of the victim on the other side, have you spoken with them?
Okay, guys, listen. Good consequences, bad choices, all that situation. You can make a decision in life and you can apologize. You can say, I'm sorry, but that does not take away what you did. So I'm going to leave you with eliminate the things you have to be sorry for. I did reach out to them. Through that program, they asked me to write a letter to them. I didn't know I couldn't send it. I mailed it to somebody who was a part of the family. They gave it to somebody else. I got in trouble for it. Later on in life, when I wrote my book, I do have 3 members of their family who who bought the book. And I actually created a little relationship with somebody just through sports. I'm real heavy on it back home. Just talking to them, hey, maybe you should take your son to this school. We created a really good distance relationship as friends and, just trying to steer their son in the right direction. The whole time I didn't know that she was the man's granddaughter. And she ended up telling me after. He actually just finished 3rd in the state title in wrestling. But I was trying to encourage her to move her kid to another school that was better in football because I seen the potential. And she talked to me just like a regular Joe for 3 years. And I had no idea. To maybe like a month ago, she goes, you do know that Nelson's my grandfather. I said, I had no idea. She goes, I do want you to know that I've seen your life. I've seen the way you are, and I do apologize. So I have intentionally, and then I had by not intentionally speaking to them. So yeah, I have. And I listen, every day that I would tell them, I'm sorry, but listen, guys, a part of your personal responsibility, your decisions, sorry or I apologize may not always be the get me out of jail card. Sometimes you're going to have to face those consequences. But listen, guys, my name is Josh Brown. I am the redeemed felon, and that for a reason. You can find me on social media. You can talk to Coach, get any of my information. I came today to make a difference in your life, and I hope that I did. I hope that when you balled that paper up, you got rid of something today that's going to help you move forward. I do appreciate your respect throughout the entire time I'm here. I'm going to ask if I could get 2 people that's not camera shy, that's willing to step in front of the camera and just tell you what you thought about my speech. I appreciate it. But if not, guys, you have a good day. Continue to strive forward. And I'm going to leave you with this one thing. I'm going to tell you guys, limit the things you have to be sorry for. Thank you. You say you would? Come on. Yeah, and can I get 2 of you the adults to do one? You mind? And listen, only got to be like 10, 15 seconds, nothing crazy. Hey, I do appreciate it. I'm going to give you a book. Hey, if anybody's willing, I got one more book to tell me something they learned today.